Good evening. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here tonight for actually the first time ever to celebrate EMS Week, which is something that I just learned from Director Niski. It goes back to President Gerald Ford in 1974. So it takes the town a little slow. We're a little slow sometimes. Sometimes it takes us 51 years to actually do something that makes a whole lot of sense, which is celebrate EMS Week and raise a flag in honor of all the men and women who serve our first aid squads as EMTs and keep people safe in Woodbridge Township. I'd like to first turn this over to our newly installed Police Director, Joe Niski, who has overseen the first aid squads in town for the township for the last many, many years, and ask Joe to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to the council. The mayor asked me to give you a brief synopsis of how we got here. All the way back in 2008, when I was still a lieutenant in the police department, the mayor had a plan for the police department to oversee EMS. In 2011, when I had the opportunity to become the deputy police director, quickly realized that most of the calls that our police officers were responding to had to do with delivering emergency medical services. So using our partners at the time, Avenel Colonia, Port Reading, and Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad, we had a plan to stage our ambulances throughout Woodbridge Township to break the traditional map of how we respond to calls and put GPS units on the ambulances and put a live map in dispatch so we could always respond an ambulance closest to the call. We also started training our police officers, and to date we have 28 sworn police officers that are also EMTs. So rather than officers showing up with just the first responder certification, almost any time of the day, we have a certified EMT working on patrol that could respond to these calls. Back in November of 2024, knowing that our call volume was going up and the system itself was being stressed, our new EMS manager was tasked with acquiring a license and starting the Woodbridge PD EMS and hiring 10 full-time EMTs. So that's how we got where we are. It's a wonderful celebration for all our EMS providers. They know how proud we are of the service they provide. They know that we know they do a great job, and I'm just happy to be in a position where I could oversee it and have a really wonderful EMS manager to run this operation day to day. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce the council members to my right. Immediately to my right, 1st Ward Councilwoman Sharon McAuliffe. To her right, 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan. The middle in the green is Councilman at Large Brian Small. To his right, 2nd Ward Councilman Howie Bauer, covering Ford, Soap Lawn, and Caseby. And to his right, Councilman at Large Kyle Anderson. Let me introduce Brian Small, who goes way back with the Port Reading First Aid Squad. His father was actually a founder of that squad many, many years ago. He grew up there. I'm sure he was a little kid running around the place when his father was there for meetings and for different events. And he grew into a first aid responder himself. He grew in to work with the fire company, which of course in Port Reading shares the same building. They work incredibly well together. And he's got the 3rd leg of public service, emergency services, I should say, which is he was a police officer for 25 years. So let me ask Councilman Small to please come up and say a few words on behalf of the council.
Thank you, Mayor. I had an opportunity to work with a lot of organizations in Woodbridge Township, but nothing's more near and dear to me than EMS. And 44 years later, which is hard to believe, but I'm still here, and I'm proud of the things we're doing. I'm proud of the direction that the town has led this EMS task force. You know, a lot of townships, a lot of towns that surround us just wipe their hands clean of EMS. We didn't. the mayor, the administration, the council took EMS to the highest level, because the people of Woodbridge Township deserve the best service, and they're getting it. So when you call 911, whether it's for police, fire, or EMS, somebody's going to be at your door very quickly. Sometimes multiple people are going to be at your door. So it's something to be, very happy that, God forbid, you need something, we're all going to be here right away. I'm looking out into the crowd. I see Tony Kersey out there, over 50 years, Avenel Colonia. Rob Snowfield, over 50 years, Avenel Colonia. These are the people that I had an opportunity to work with. My father had an opportunity to work with. And, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into these squads. And it all paid off. It all paid off. To the director, to Dennis, to Steve Weber, you're doing a fantastic job. I appreciate everything you do. And to all the men and women that are EMTs with Woodbridge Township, thank you for all you do. Thank you.
So when we did decide to be more actively involved in the running operation of first aid in Woodbridge Township, we needed somebody to be the EMS manager, and we didn't have to look very far before realizing that Dennis Petrick, based on his experience working in the industry full-time, working as a volunteer firefighter, with all the credentials it takes to be this manager. We brought in Dennis, and he interviewed with everybody, and everybody loved him. He became the manager, and this program has become, as Director Niski said, under Dennis's leadership, with the 10 employees, 8 line employees, and 2 supervisors, it has worked out very well, incredibly well. And that's because of Dennis's leadership abilities, his demeanor, his personality, his leadership. He just has done a phenomenal job working for us. So we are going to present several different proclamations. They all read the same thing. I'm going to read one, but I'm going to call Dennis up and ask him to stand next to me as I read this proclamation. Dennis, please. Whereas Woodbridge Township Emergency Medical Services professionals serve as a vital link in the chain of emergency care, providing life-saving medical assistance in times of crisis, ensuring the health and safety of our community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas Woodbridge Township Emergency Medical Services consist of highly trained and compassionate EMTs, paramedics, dispatchers, nurses, and first responders who serve with dedication and courage, often placing themselves in harm's way to protect the lives of others. And whereas Woodbridge Police Department EMS stands as a team of dedicated EMTs, along with certified volunteers and staff, working collaboratively to respond to hundreds of accidents and emergencies, to include disasters, health crises, and community needs, with expertise and commitment. And whereas the Township of Woodbridge recognizes Woodbridge Police Department EMS for their dedication to public safety on the 51st anniversary of Emergency Medical Services Week, and are especially grateful for their commitment to the Woodbridge Township community. Now therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Township Council, do hereby proclaim May 18th to 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week, and extend highest honor to Woodbridge Police Department EMS for their devotion to duty and public safety. Dennis, thank you very much for your leadership. Want to say a few words? No? Of course, I asked Dennis if he wants to say a few words. He said no. I'm betting everybody else I call up here is also going to say no. Let me call up a longtime friend, former police officer, another one with a great track record of emergency services in Woodbridge Township, Chief Robert Snowfield of Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad. I'm not going to ask him to speak because he might say yes. Want to say something?
No.
Okay, good. All right, next up, from Port Reading First Aid Squad, Chief Dan Egan.
Congratulations.
Next up, Colonia First Aid Squad, Squad Leader Erin Seneca is not here, but Sakit Shah is going to accept on her behalf.
Congratulations.
And from Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad, WTAR, Squad Leader Nicole Fanning.
Congratulations, Nicole.
And I'm sure we're going to want a picture of the 5 of them together, so we'll do that afterwards, but please don't leave. And now, it gives me great pleasure to do 2 more presentations for emergency response and life-saving action from Woodbridge Police Department EMS. And there's two proclamations. I'll read one of them, but it covers both people. It's EMT Jonathan Ryan and EMT William Regar. You guys would come up. Whereas on March 9, 2025, New Jersey State Certified EMT Jonathan Ryan, separate one for Mr. Regar, from Woodbridge Police Department EMS in concert with each other, responded to Commander Patrick J. Dunn Court in the Ford section of the township for a first aid call involving a 30-year-old female in labor. Upon arriving at the location, Ryan and Regar, in concert with Woodbridge Police Officer Nicholas Iacobu, located the patient in active labor and timed her contractions at less than 1 minute apart. And whereas Ryan and Regar determined that the baby was crowning and proceeded to prepare the mother for delivery, and within minutes and 2 brief pushes, the infant was born. Boy, how many of you ladies would like to have experienced that? Ryan and Regar clamped and cut the umbilical cord, and Officer Iacobu wrapped the newborn in blankets for transport with the mother to the hospital. And whereas Ryan and Regar used their training and experience, assessed the medical situation, and assisted in the delivery of a newborn infant, are hereby recognized for their life-saving action before the Woodbridge Township first responder community and fellow EMTs. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps that baby, and who knows, maybe the mom are alive today because of the actions that these two first aiders took along with Nick Iacobu. So congratulations and thank you. That's you. Thank you, sir. And that one's you. And you want to say anything? Figured. Have to ask. All right, next up, last up, we have a proclamation for firefighter Kurt Delibero from Ford's Fire Company. And for the record, his younger brother Vinny just turned 30 on Saturday and had a great birthday party at the Monarch, ironically at the Woodbridge Township First Aid Squad. Whereas on March 3rd, 2025, firefighter Kurt Delibero, Ford's Fire Company, in concert with Woodbridge Police Officer Gary Thompson and Officer Riley Egan, responded to a report of a serious motor vehicle accident on the ramp to the truck lanes of the New Jersey Turnpike South in the Ford section of the town. Upon arrival at the scene, the first response team observed a motor vehicle accident involving a U-Haul van and a tractor trailer. The U-Haul van was wedged against the overpass with the seriously injured driver pinned inside the cab. And whereas Delibero, Thompson, and Egan scaled the railing abutting the overpass, and upon reaching the driver's side door, observed that the driver's left leg was shredded and bleeding profusely. Firefighter Delibero, under extremely dangerous conditions, engaged the jaws of life to gain access to the cab, used a reciprocating saw to cut through a metal partition and bolts that lowered the backrest to extract the driver from the mangled wreckage for transport to a hospital where he survived after treatment for leg fractures, collapsed lung, and bleeding on the brain. And whereas firefighter Delibero, utilizing training and expertise, secured access to the vehicle and successfully removed the seriously injured driver from the vehicle, and whereas Kurt Delibero is hereby recognized for his dedication to public safety before the Woodbridge Township first response community and fellow firefighters. And once again, we're honoring a first responder in Woodbridge Township for saving the life of somebody. You just can't get any better than that. You don't think you're going to do it when you go through all this training, but you know you're prepared to do it if you have to. And that's what happened to Kurt Delibero. He was ready, and he saved somebody's life. Congratulations, man. Good job. Want to say something? You sure? No, man, you're a hero. Nothing?
It's good.
All right, he's good.
Good evening. We'll call the council meeting in order. Please rise for a pledge of flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military personnel that are serving. Thank you. Please be seated.
Those requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger published a notice on January 10, 2025. Posted on the municipal bulletin board, it should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Roll call. Councilman Anderson. Here. Councilman Bauer. Here. Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilwoman Mann.
Here.
Councilman Patel. Councilman Small.
Here.
Vice President McAuliffe.
Here.
And President Spiller.
Here.
Mr. President, before we begin this evening, as council is aware, we have a vacancy on council. We shared communication with you during the night of 3 recommended names by the Woodbridge Democratic Organization for you to consider for a replacement. At this time, I'm going to ask council if anybody wishes to put any of those 3 names in the form of a motion. If not, we'll go into the council meeting.
Mr. Mitch, I would like to nominate Dan Harris.
Is there a second on that?
Second, Mr. Mitch.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment. I met Dan Harris many years ago while cleaning a park in Colonia, where we both reside. Dan had joined a small group of volunteers from the American Irish to help organize the Colonia town cleanup to help beautify the town. This young man could have chosen to do anything that day, but he decided to spend his Saturday morning moving dirt, ripping out bushes, cleaning up trash, and basically doing anything that needed to be done so he could take care of the town he grew up and loved. Dan was not afraid to jump in and get his hands dirty, doing the work that was needed to be done. Fast forward, all these years later, Dan is still jumping into his community and placing himself amongst his neighbors for the betterment of our township. Dan is not afraid to do the hard work, the honest work, the needed work, and the needed work. Dan has been a strong advocate for our children, parents, and schools through the many years he's been on the Woodbridge Board of Education. He has been and continues to be a strong voice for our senior citizen population through his work in Trenton, addressing vital issues that affect the quality of their everyday lives. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention his tireless efforts to help and support our veterans, both past and present. If you live in Woodbridge Township, most people have already heard of the name Dan Harris because of his unwavering commitment, service, passion, and because you can find him at almost every event in town, simply because he loves to get involved and be a part of our community. I'm honored to nominate Dan Harris for the seat of Councilman at Large because I am confident that his integrity, honesty, and worth ethics will make him a strong addition to our team, and I know he will give everything he has to every resident that calls Woodbridge Township their home.
Councilman Small.
Mr. Mitch, I would like to second the nomination of Dan Harris. Dan has been serving the community long before being elected to the Board of Education 10 years ago. Dan is a caring person who likes to help others to improve things in our township. He's a proven leader, dedicated and committed to serve this council. It'll be an honor and a privilege to serve with Dan again. And just for the note, for record, you know, I worked with Dan's dad, I worked with Dan's mom, I worked with Dan's brothers, and I've been working with Dan for the past 10, 12 years with the Board of Ed. Mrs. Harris, you did good. Congratulations.
I have a motion that's properly seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed. Congratulations, Mr. Harris. Do you, Daniel Bryan Harris, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear faith and allegiance to the same, the governments established in the United States and this state and the authority to be you will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of Councilman at large. Best of your ability, so help you God.
I did.
Congrats, Dan. Good job, man.
Thanks. Thank you. Congratulations!
Right, okay.
Mr. Harris, as soon as you're situated, if you have any comments.
Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm digital these days. Instead of paper comments, I brought it on my laptop. Oh, my computer froze on me. I'll be right with you guys. I apologize. It's here. Whew, thank you very much. Councilmates, pleasure. Thank you very much for the honor of joining this council. I've started attending council meetings after my junior year of college. Attended many for a long time, as some of you may remember, and then got a little distracted during my service with the Board of Education. So it's a pleasure to be back in this room and joining such a distinguished group. And I'm humbled and privileged to serve the people of Woodbridge Township as well. It's going to be a continuation of my commitment to you all. I did 12 and a half years on the Board of Education, and I look forward to these next 7 months and hopefully earning your trust to serve down the road. Woodbridge Township means everything to me. My parents grew up here. I was raised here, and my wife and I, Taylor, who you saw moments ago, plan to raise our family here. I want to thank my family for being here. Once again, my wife, Taylor, my mom, Kathy, is here, my 2 brothers, Pat and Mike, my sisters-in-law, Carrie Ann and Christine, and our 4 wonderful nieces and nephews. Guys, nice to see you here. I know you may not quite understand what this all means, but you one day will. And to my extended family, those who I work with every day, the best district office staff on the planet, thank you for being here. To my good friends standing in the back there, like a police lineup back there, and to those who were also sitting in the audience, my fellow board members. I see Mr. Hall, I see Mr. Henderson, the other candidates nominated last year. It's a pleasure to be among the 3 of you. And I want to thank the Mayor, Ms. Ehrlich, Mr. Simaluka, Mr. Mitch, Mr. Haggerty, and the rest of the administration and workforce. I look forward to working with you in my new capacity. We're no strangers. We've been working together for a long, long time. It's going to be a privilege continuing to work in this new capacity. Between yourselves and this distinguished council, I'm proud to join us as stable and effective government as you'll find anywhere in this country. During my day job, Speaker's office in Trenton, I hear it all the time. We wish more towns were like Woodbridge, or we wish every town had a John McCormick. Like my time on the Board of Education, I hope to partner in that continued success. The prospect of leaving the Board of Education was bittersweet, as I knew I still had much to give, but I know I did not leave the place in a lurch. Today, thanks to the incredible partnership between this municipal government and the school district, things are as stable as ever.
I still hope to make my mark in the lives of our 14,000 students in this new capacity. I don't know if I could live up to Councilman Ficarra's incredible legacy, of which I sit in today, but I plan to carry on his council agenda, focus on seniors, youth, and public health, to name a few, as well as work with the council and the administration on some new goals based on my own strengths and interests. Greg and I even had a cosmic connection. We share the same birthday of June 5, so that's special to he and I. He's often the first text message I get every June 5th, wishing me a happy birthday, and me sharing the same. The success of this township does not happen easily. It takes continuous work, day after day. I'm committing to upholding that standard left by Councilman Ficarra, this current council, the administration, and those who came before us. I can't wait to get to work. Thank you very much.
Mr. Brennan, Mrs. Meehan would like to speak on that.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. I just want to also just thank Mr. Hall, Mr. Henderson, for putting their names out there to serve our community. We appreciate everything you do for our community, but thank you for putting your names out there and wanting to do that.
That said, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting of May 6, 2025?
Motion. Second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we will take letter A first, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 of the revised ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge with regards to handicap parking on Gill Lane. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and a public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only. There are no comment from the public. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted, and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is an ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge authorizing the execution of a lease agreement for property known as Block 545, Lot 55, which is on the tax map parking lot on James Street in Woodbridge. Councilwoman De Jesus, can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second. Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Mitchell, I'd like to abstain from that.
So noted. Any other comments? All, I said all, you're right. All right, ayes have it. Any comments from the public? Letter B only.
Good evening, Mr. President. Ken Gardner, Woodbridge. Can you please explain the ordinance?
This is going to be the second reading ordinance is for a lease agreement between the township and the property owner for the use of parking.
So this, I see this is on James Street, and we are leasing our property, or we are leasing,
We're entering a lease,
we're obtaining a lease to use the property for parking.
entering a lease agreement with the property owner.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments on letter B? Letter B only. Hearing no other comments, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Questions, comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. First reading ordinances, you have 7 of them listed, letters C through I. Can I get a motion that all these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on May 23rd, 2025, with notice of public hearing to be held on June 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You also have resolutions before you listed as 1 through 29. Could I get a motion approved by consent 1 through 29?
Motion.
Second. Any questions or comments from council?
Yes, Mr. Mitchell, I'm going to abstain from number 29.
So noted. Any other comments or questions?
Mr. Mitchell, I'll also be abstaining from number
So
29.
noted. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Before we go to the public comment portion of the meeting, Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Just 2 points. 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that the fiscal year adjustment bond ordinance introduced in May was, I think I said 47 or 48 million. It was actually just short of 42 million. Just want to correct that. And I think I also said that the meeting where the 6-month budget was adopted was June 30th. It was actually June 23rd. 33 years ago, didn't get it all exactly right.
Thank you for the clarification, Mayor. Thank you. We'll now move to the public comment portion of the meeting. When approaching a microphone, please state your name, what section of the township or state that you live in. You'll have a one-time opportunity to speak. All members of the audience are asked to adhere to the township's decorum ordinance, which is posted in council chambers. The public session allows for 5 minutes. This includes remarks by the speaker and any response by the council president or administration. When there's 1 minute left, I will alert the speaker so to emphasize any remaining points or questions. When the 5-minute period is passed, all speakers are to leave the microphone area and return to their chairs. All videotaping must be taken in a designated area. There will be no interruptions from your chair. The public session portion of the meeting is a comment and/or Q&A interaction between the council president and the speaker. The council president presides over the council meeting. Thank you. Sir?
Hello, everybody. My name is Gary Diedelmeyer, and I live in Colonia. Most of us here grew up in the best years of our lives, the 50s and the 60s. We had the best cars, we had the best music. One of the things that gave us pleasure back then was this little disc right here, this 45. In the 45, as you know, they had an A side, which was the most popular or the most wanted song. The B side was more or less for the not so popular song. Unfortunately, Memorial Day has a lot in common with this 45 record. For most people, they like the more popular side, which includes a 3-day weekend, start of the summer shore, and of course, Memorial Day sales. Since the military stopped doing the draft in 1973, 52 years ago, only people who had a family member or friend in places like Europe, Korea, Vietnam, the Middle East, kind of like the B side of the Memorial Day. And that side includes a day to consider the idea of sacrifice, a day to pay homage to those who didn't come home, a day to preserve the memories of those who have died and to give them thanks for doing so. Memorial Day is a day that should unite us all, no matter our faith, political views, or culture. Memorial Day is not a clone of Veterans Day. That's a day for the living. Memorial Day is a day that should not, in my personal opinion, ever be used as a shopping opportunity. Everybody likes a sale. You want to go buy a bed, appliances, call it the start of summer sale. There's no way Memorial Day should ever be used in the word sale, my opinion. More than 1 million men and women have given up their lives in service to our country. It is only right to honor them through the correct observance of this day, by not allowing their service to be in vain, but rather lifting them up and learning from their examples of sacrifice and courage. Please join me in honor the legacy of those who died for us and ensured a brighter future for our next generation to come. Now, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the A side of Memorial Day. Go down to the beach, put your feet in the warm sand, sit in a chair, look at the ocean. It doesn't get any better than that. But just for a moment, you don't have to dwell on it. Just think about those boys that hit the beach in Normandy and Omaha. So we have the freedom to hit the beach in Point Pleasant and Cape May. God bless our troops, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you for your courage.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Well spoken, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Congratulations,
Evening.
Thank you.
Danny. I want to go back to the last, the letter B. The piece of property on the James Street, I believe the East James Street, that was listed to a private individual company. I would like to know, wasn't part of the two houses and a gas station there taken with eminent domain one of those properties or not? If it was, can we do such a ticket as eminent domain and list it to private individual company? Because I understand for longest time we had a problem. There were parking lots. All of a sudden we list it up to individuals or businesses. That's part of my question.
So, Mr. Vitark, if I understand you correctly, you're asking about the last meeting and eminent domain?
No, letter B.
Letter B.
Today.
On this one.
Please. Of tonight, I'm sorry. What? Which items? Oh, that's the lease agreement. That's the lease agreement with the property owner.
Council President?
Yes, sir.
If I could, all the ordinances say condemnation. They all say eminent domain. It doesn't mean we used it, we didn't use it. That's just the language that has to be in the ordinance. Every time we do a redevelopment agreement, every time we do a property acquisition, it's just part of the required legal language that the lawyers make us use. It doesn't mean we used eminent domain in the process.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, my question would be, was any of those three property taken by eminent domain? Not because of acquisition. Was there anything taken by eminent domain?
I just answered that. I just said no.
No. Okay, thank you. Again, now who's the company that's going to lease it? Or individual?
Vito Mazza.
You don't have yet, so anybody still in the...
Vito Mazza is the company, whatever his company name is going to lease the spaces from us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vitark.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Thank you, Mr. President. Ken Gardner, Woodbridge.
Evening.
Just to echo what Gary had said before, I had planned on saying, as Memorial Day approaches, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to speak. As we see with the war with Ukraine and Russia going on now, so many other countries don't have that right. So it's each of our American Legion and VFW posts all have services surrounding Memorial Day. I know the council people are great about announcing those things. The mayor's very good about putting those things on his Facebook page as well. So I would encourage the residents to come out and support the veterans and to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice to give the opportunity to people like me or anybody else to come and speak and to have democratically elected elections. Second, I want to congratulate Dan Harris. Dan and I have worked together on some projects. And while we disagree politically on many things, we usually leave that at the door and work on the other projects together. It was great to be in the front row, Dan, and to see you get sworn in. There's nothing that excites me more than to see somebody get sworn into government, so I wish you all the best and know that you'll put your best foot forward for the township of Woodbridge. Last, I'd like to ask the council to consider forming a citizens committee to review the budget. Maybe we would have, you could determine the makeup if you decide to take up the idea, but I was thinking, maybe 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, 5 independents, just to give another set of eyes on it. This is not to say anything in a negative way about the administration of the council, but to put more eyes on the budget process. As you know, I've been calling for a tax cut, and I think that by putting more eyes on the subject, it would help. Sometimes when you do things year in and year out, again, our CFO, our mayor have been in place for quite a long time. Many people have been on the council for quite a long time. So to get that extra set of eyes on the budget process, I think would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, Sue Bordan, Woodbridge.
Jenny Perez, Woodbridge.
We would just like to congratulate Dan. You guys have a great guy. We know that he won't let us down. He will still communicate with us about our 14,000 students. You have left a legacy at the Woodbridge Township Board of Education, one we will try to fulfill. So Dan, congratulations, and we wish the best for you, but we know that you're still here for us.
Congrats, Dan. Thank you so much for everything that you've taught me being on the board. And there would be no one that I could think of that could fill Greg's shoes. I work with Greg on the Commissioner Board for Housing, and he's just phenomenal, and I know you're going to do an amazing job. So congratulations.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Any other comments from the public? Any other comments? Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion. Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll go into the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. Starting off the agenda myself, first and foremost, Councilman Harris has a good ring to it. I just want to say congratulations. What you bring to the proverbial table, can't really comment on it. Just all the work that you've done in the township, all the extracurricular activities, starting with your volunteer efforts, and then into the school board, all your work with the speaker, just phenomenal. I know I speak for all my fellow councilmates. We really look forward to having you on our team. That's what it is. It's one big team to work for the benefit and at the discretion of all the residents of Woodbridge Township. So congratulations. My agenda is in order. Two announcements. The Avenel VFW, located at 60 West Park Avenue, will be having their VFW services this Monday, 10 a.m. I'm sure other members will be touching base on it. As the gentleman said earlier, please get out and just show your support for our veterans, please. And it's going to be getting there before you know it. It's Memorial Day weekend. Fireworks, the Township Fireworks, which is always an awesome show and event, will be held this year on July 3rd. Park opens at 4, and the fireworks are around 9:25. I'm not going to talk about a rain date because it's not going to rain. The rest of my order, God bless America. Council Vice President McAuliffe.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I'd like to congratulate Dan on joining us on the council dais here. I know you're going to do a great job, and I look forward to working with you. And we said a lot of nice things about you before, so I'll let everybody else talk. I just have 3 quick announcements. Relay for Life, there's still time to join and donate to Relay for Life. The event will be on June 7th at Woodbridge High School. Log on to www.relay07095.org to donate. They could use your help to help fight the cause against cancer. The Woodbridge Fire Department is holding a senior barbecue bash. It's going to be located at the Firehouse, 418 School Street. This will be held on Sunday, June 1st from 12 o'clock to 2:30 in the afternoon. You must register for this event. It's for senior citizens, so you know who you are out there, senior citizens. Seating is limited, so please call and register at 732-602-6040. The downtown cruises on Main Street will be happening very soon. There are 3 dates, June 18th, July 16th, and August the 20th. If you have a car that you want to get out there and have everyone check out and see, or come out and look at some really nice fancy cars, come out and patronize all of the businesses on Main Street, that would be great. So come out, it's a really fun night, get to see a lot of things that's going on. And then you could probably go down to Parker Press and listen to some music also, because there'll be probably a free concert that night also. Happy Father's Day is coming up at the Woodbridge Community Center, Sunday, June 15th from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can, if you're a dad and you bring a child, you can do mini golf for free. I would just like to thank all of the veterans and who are serving now and who are no longer with us, and I would like to just mention thank you to my son-in-law who served for a year overseas, and he it's great to see that there are still young people out there who want to go and serve our country. So thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President McAuliffe. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I'd first like to congratulate our newest member of the council and the dais. I've had the pleasure of working with Dan Harris on many occasions, and right from my first day as a first councilman and running through my primary, Dan was always there with me with every step. I saw the work, and as we all did, saw the work that he did with our Board of Education, so I just want to congratulate you and welcome you. And we all have a lineage on our seat. Mine goes back to my psychology teacher and my athletic director, and yours, you're sharing that with Greg, and the fact that you shared the same birthday with Greg. We all know you have big shoes to fill, but I've seen your shoes. What do you wear, like a size 12? So you'll be all right. I would like to announce that Woodbridge High School football team is having their first golf outing under the new coach. And this is, technically, it's their 9th annual golf outing, and it'll be on Friday, July 25th. It's a 7:30 registration, 9 a.m. shotgun start, $175 per person. You can go to the Barron's 5th quarter, so it's Barron's, the number 5, THQC @gmail.com. But you can call the athletic department if you'd like to register. I'll be posting it on my social media, but we're looking to get at least 18 foursomes to help the football program out for the year. I'd like to congratulate the Woodbridge High School baseball program for winning the Red Division this year. This was their first year in the Red Division. Although they lost a close one to Colonia last night, it was a great game, 1-0, classic baseball game, and they're playing JFK tonight. So we had a nice turnout last night. I'm sure there's going to be a nice turnout at the JFK Woodbridge game tonight. And that said, I just would like to wish everyone a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. If you had some family that served and that are no longer with us, please thank your family members for their service. We'd like to remember our good friend Stu, who passed away recently, Stu Brandow, at the age of 100, and he was a World War II veteran. So that's all I have to say. God bless America.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. And Dan, congratulations on your appointment. You're a great fit to this team. Your past experience on the Board of Ed, serving under Speaker Coughlin, you're bringing a wealth of knowledge to this team and this dais. I look forward to working with you, and congratulations again. I just have one announcement tonight. Ford's VFW Post 6090 Memorial Day services will be held on Monday, May 26th at 11 a.m. at their Memorial Monument on King George Road at Coryell Street. The township is holding many services this Monday, so come out, pay your respects for those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. That's all I have. God bless America, and thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Bauer. Councilman Small.
Thanks, Council President. The agenda's in order. Mr. Harris, congratulations again. This is round 2 for you and I. All right. Look forward to working with you again. Memorial Day services, Fort Reading Fire EMS on Monday at 9 a.m. All are welcome. God bless America. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Small. Councilwoman DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. Dan, everybody says about the work that you do in the township, but I just think you are genuine and a super person. You genuinely want to do good and help, and I think that comes from your upbringing. I think your dad is watching down on you from heaven and really proud. And you have 2 redheads that take after their grandpa. But congratulations, well deserved. I look forward to working with you. That is all that I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman DeJesus. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President. I just have one announcement tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll be holding our Support the Troop rally over by Woodbridge High School in front of the Health Department. It starts at 6 o'clock. We will be...
I'm out.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Out indoors.
It's tomorrow. It was going to be there. It's really nice there, but we're going to move it inside to Woodbridge High School. That's what I meant to say. So we'll still have it. It'll be in the auditorium. We're going to do it a little different. We will be honoring Stu Brandow, and we hope you'll come out and pay tribute to him. He was a wonderful, wonderful veteran from Woodbridge Township. and he really loved, he was always at our council meetings, and he just did a lot for the community. So please come out and honor him tomorrow and all of our veterans. And like Gary said, this is a great weekend to go out and go to the beach and do all these things, but take a moment and find one of our services. There's a lot of services this weekend in Woodbridge Township. You can find them on our Woodbridge website. Just pay tribute and remember why we have all these great honors and these great privileges. And thank you to everybody that served. Thanks to all our veterans. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. Councilman Patel is excused. Councilman Harris.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome from everyone in the council. Look forward to working with you once again. And Mr. Mitch, I'm working on a council agenda. I'll be sending that to you shortly. That's it, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Harris. Mr. Mitch.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Harris. I look forward to working with you. Just a couple items, Mr. President. Under number 1, letter D, I'll be amending that. You may have seen communication from me. You may also have known this from the news, but Red Lobster has been successful in reorganizing coming out of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So we're going to be amending their liquor license to take out the debtor in possession. We'll be working on that with the police department. Next meeting, you can expect to start seeing some liquor license renewals. As you know, we have 93 licenses. I'm trying to get them as many before you at one time. Hopefully to have about 50% of them ready by then. Drop down to elections as we're approaching the June 10th primary election. Just remember June 3rd and 8th at Acacia Center in Woodbridge on Reading Avenue 98. June 3rd through the 8th is early voting. And finally, at the end of legal, we're going to go into executive session to discuss contract negotiations. At that time, we'll have to ask the public to leave. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. And just to refresh on elections, nothing has changed for School 4 and 5. All residents that would normally vote there will still vote there. That is door 3 located on South Inman Avenue, normal times. Thank you. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. I hope Dan Harris has a long career in the town council, but we just witnessed and experienced the shortest agenda that Dan is ever going to present. That was probably 15 seconds. It usually takes him 15 seconds to state his name. I'm afraid for all of you, I tend to sometimes leave and do other township business after the actual meeting is over, but you're in for a treat. Dan Harris is never going to have anything even close to that kind of agenda session again, but I want to congratulate Dan. This is why people should work hard. This is why people should do a great job. This is why people should earn the respect of their peers. Because when the time comes for an opportunity to advance and to get something that you want, when you do the job Dan has done, you become the obvious choice. This opening was something that happened in recent weeks, and as people talked about it, only one name was really ever brought up by everybody. And it was consistent, and it was Dan Harris because of what he's done. And I really am looking forward to working with him in a different capacity. He was president of the board, top guy out of 9. Now you're coming to the council, you're the rookie out of 9. But I'm sure that's not going to matter to you because everybody loves you, everybody respects you, and I think you're going to do wonderful. I'm going to miss our once-a-month Saturday morning breakfast where we talk about the town and the board together and how we work cooperatively, but you're still going to be the guy that's the go-to on the board because you just came off it. So all these things we do are still going to be on your agenda. We're still going to talk about them. We're still going to work together for the betterment of the seniors, the families, the students, the kids of Woodbridge Township. I think you're going to do great. But from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. You really deserve this based on your 12-year record working for the board and for the township.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And I didn't get nervous when I saw him bring up a briefcase. Business Administrator, Mr. Simaluka.
Thank you, Council President. Welcome, Councilman Harris. Look forward to working with you. I know that Woodbridge is deep in the heart of your entire family, so look forward to it. I have one thing on my agenda this evening. That's for tax appeals. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, sir. Please, Director Niski.
Thank you, Council President. I have one item on my agenda, ordinance proposal for no stopping and standing on King George's Road.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Director Dorgan.
Thank you, Council President. Just standard biweekly refund resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Public Works Director Dorgan.
Thank you, Council President. I have a few items for action tonight. The first one is a change order number 1 and final contract 2022-026 and that was for the Parkside Pump Station improvements. Second item is a grant application and a contract with the NJDOT, and that's for the new Dover Road roadway improvements. And the third one is a proposal from CMA for improvements to signalized intersection of Main Street and Amway Avenue, Route 35, in the amount of $14,946. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before we go to legal, Speaker Coffin.
Well, thank you, Council President. And for the record, legal has nothing this evening. It is really a special night for me. Dan Harris and I have been together as colleagues and now I dare say friends for the last 16 years. More than anyone, I have gotten to see Dan in action day after day. There is no more tireless worker. There is no one who's smarter. There is no one who cares more. There is no one who's more prepared to make a difference than Dan Harris. Now, I will caution my, I'm sorry, not my colleagues, but the members of the board or the council. When Dan and I, he used to ride with me as we drove about the state. He would start asking me questions when I got in the car, and we could go from Ford's to Cape May to High Point to Princeton and back, and he would never stop asking questions because he's that inquisitive. Because I took to falling asleep as a defense mechanism. But the truth of the matter is, he is all that everybody here has said. No one works harder. Nobody cares more. He has, as my wife pointed out last night, he has encyclopedic memory about everything that has gone on. And to Councilwoman DeJesus's point, he's a wonderful person. He's somebody who is a good man, who plays by the rules, who cares about that. Respects the institution that he's involved with, and wants to do good. Dan doesn't just get involved with committees, he makes a difference in every committee he volunteers for, in every organization he participates in. So we are all, as a resident of Woodbridge, I can tell you, I'm really happy tonight. As Dan's friend, and now I guess I'll have to call him boss when we're here. I can tell you that I'm proud to say that we have had such great time together. I look forward with great excitement to the years and decades ahead with Dan in playing a leadership role here in the township. So congratulations, my friend. Well done, well earned, and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mitch.
Yes, Mr. President, whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting, and in this opinion of this body that we are now going to go into an executive session to discuss collective bargaining contracts. I'll look for a motion to approve a resolution to do so, and I'll have to ask the public to leave. Will probably be about 20 minutes.
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Then at this time, I'm going to ask the public to please leave the room so we can retire into executive session. Thank you. Mr. President, we are back in session at 6:57 p.m. I just want to note that the resolution you adopted to go into an executive session is going to be number 30. I'm now presenting to you two resolutions, numbers 31 and 32. They are to approve the contract negotiation for bargaining units ASME Local 3044 and ASME Local 292. Can I get a motion by consent to approve resolutions 31 and 32?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? And I've noted the one abstention. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
You're adjourned. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, council.